hopefully you'll be able to hear me this time. Right. I'm just waiting to see if Stefan comes back and whomever else. And let's go back there. Right. I think I am back to where I was. But who knows? Who knows the secrets of the black magic box, as they say. Alright, let's get... can I get rid of that one? We'll open this one. Edit the video. And go to there. XPD Live Take 2. Right, save. Mute. Alright. Stefan, I hope you come back and that you can hear me. Alright? So let me know if you can hear me this time and everything's alright. And I'll just have to go through everything else again that I was talking about. Which isn't a problem. I can do that. I'm not going to say anything until people come online. And microphone's still working, yeah. Okay, that's good. You'll probably hear me crunching my minced imperials. I once got told off for that. We'll wait. I can wait. Yeah, I might make this camera, this one down here, I might make this into an overhead cam. If I can. We'll see. Right, Stefan, are you back? If you are, I'll go through everything again. Just say hello. Right. Had a technical glitch. Microphone wasn't working for some reason. Hopefully it is working now. Let me know if you can hear me. I can see the audio bar moving in OBS, so I should imagine that it is working. And if that's the case, and if Stefan's back here, although he might be in work, I promise today that I'm not going to be political. I'm going to keep away from politics entirely, or at least try to. But it's a bit hard. So what I was going to do today, and I said this before, but I'll say it all again, is that I'm going to talk about X-Plane. It's going to be like an X-Plane 11 masterclass, for want of a better expression. Well, not so much about flying or anything like that, although we might have a look at that. It's more about what you have in X-Plane, okay? Because what I always see, I see this a lot. I see it on Facebook groups, in my Facebook group, you see it on YouTube, you see it everywhere. People writing in and basically they're saying that the X-Plane has crashed, or it's done this, or it's done that. It doesn't seem to work. It's running slow. And more often than not, after the issue has been troubleshooted, it's simply because that maybe the person has just got too much on their X-Plane hard drive. And what I wanted to do today was talk about that in as much as what do you really need to have a good flying experience in X-Plane? Well, obviously the first thing you need is a simulator. Out of the box, I say that great phrase, out of the box, X-Plane is actually very, very good in providing a flight experience, good flight experience. Flight models are good, the default aircraft are good. Some airports have been really well modelled, but then of course you've got the global airports, which are submitted by the third-party community, some of which are rubbish, a lot of which are good, and a lot of which are very, very good, and they're all free. So, what more do you require to have a good flight sim experience? Hi, Depressor, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. So what you need is maybe a high-end aircraft or a study level aircraft, whether that be a GA aircraft or a airliner. You may want some good sceneries of airports to take off from and land into. And then you start getting into the realms of, well, do you need photo scenery or do you want photo scenery? And here's my personal opinion, okay? And it is only my personal opinion. You can listen to it and tell me to go to hell, or listen to me and think, oh, that makes a little bit of sense. So, photo scenery really only comes into its own when you're flying VFR, okay? Flying VFR, you're generally lower than 10,000 feet. You know, you may at the highest you might fly only 5,000 feet. And photo scenery really comes into its own around about that, anywhere between 2,000 and 8 to 10,000 feet. Photo scenery is amazing. But above that, above 10,000 feet, if you're in an airliner, you're possibly going to be flying in cloud or above cloud, and any higher than 10,000 feet, you would definitely be above cloud if the weather's bad. And so what is the point of photo scenery then? And in actual fact, if you're flying at 36,000 feet or higher, 40,000, 41,000, most of the time you're in the aircraft. You're not outside the aircraft. Most of the time you're in the aircraft, in the cockpit, studying the cockpit, enjoying your flight. Maybe you've gone for a walk, you've made yourself a sandwich. You're not looking at the scenery, you're flying along. You may look at the weather beneath you, you may look at the cloud structure beneath you, but you're not looking to see houses or rivers or roads or cars on roads or anything like that. And so flying at 36,000 feet, do you really need photo scenery? Okay, well, if you do, you're going to need a lot of space. You're going to need a lot of hard drive space, especially if you consider you want to do something like have the whole of America or the whole of the UK or Europe. And if you buy third-party photo scenery, such as the Orbex stuff, you're going to need a lot of space. Or if you go down the other route where you use Ortho4 XP, where you create your own orthophoto scenery, you're going to need terabytes of space. And I know people who have got literally tens of terabytes of hard drive space so they can have their photo scenery. And then they fly at 30,000 feet. Now, this is my personal opinion once again. And for me, personally, I'm more interested in what the airports look like when I take off, or when I taxi, when I take off, and when I land. And if the airport looks good, I'm not really bothered about what's in between. And I'll be perfectly honest, the only photo scenery that I've got is for the United Kingdom. And that's the Orbex stuff. Because when I fly VFR mostly in the United Kingdom. Mostly in Wales, to be frank. And it's superb. at 2,000 to 10,000 feet. Any higher than that, the photo scenery becomes negligible. So that is one thing that can cause problems for people who have these huge hard drives and they put loads of stuff on, and masses and masses and terabytes of hard drive space, and it costs money, and not everybody has a lot of money, and especially now at the difficult times we're in, some people may have no money at all to be spending on their hobby. So do you really want to waste what money you have on photo scenery that you're not going to look at if you fly airliners? And this is specific about airliners, okay? Now when it comes to, once again, let me just talk about airports. You can get thousands of airports for X-Plane from xplane.org, all handcrafted by third-party individuals. I used to do airports. I think I've got over 38 airports that I've done, some very popular, others not. I'm not doing it for, I didn't do it for a popularity contest anyway, but that doesn't matter. But there are thousands of airports, and those airports are being added to all the time through the gateway, the scenery gateway that Laminar constructed, whereby you can submit an airport to that gateway, and if it's deemed okay, they will put it on the next upload of X-Plane. There are thousands of airports, a lot of them not very good at all. Some people have just created a runway and a couple of buildings. Others are absolutely breathtakingly amazing, way better than Payware. So, for me, the airport that I'm departing from, I'm at the gate, I'm taxiing from, and where I'm going to is more important than photo scenery. Some airports you get, and I get a lot of airports. Some people create airports, third-party people, and they'll put ortho photo scenery just around the airport. Fine, that's not taking up a load of space. Orbex, when they do an airport, they do the surrounding environments and the countryside, and they blend it into the default scenery almost seamlessly. Brilliant. So that's one thing, okay? Then you get other things that get put into your X-Plane 11 folder, and it can clutter it up. I'm just going to have a look at mine, okay? So let's open it up. So yeah, usual structure, aircraft, airfoils, blah blah blah. I'll tell you something now. I am not sure what a lot of these files are for down here. Okay, we've got the 737 config, the B73MX status, I don't know what the hell that is. 38 config, more. Some of those actually look like copies. We've got our cycle dump, data debug, fly with lure, so forth and so on. Global turbulence, global winds. A lot of this stuff is back-end stuff, and you don't really need to worry about it. Although there's some things I think, do I really need? Do I need to use user vertical offsets anymore with XPilot? That's for when you're flying online and you get all the aircraft at different heights and altitudes. I'm not quite sure. But XEnviro, I haven't even got XEnviro on my PC, so why have I got the XEnviro log there? I'll have to get rid of that. Don't need it, because I haven't got XEnviro on my machine. Let me just turn that off and turn that off, and then come back here. Okay. Livery settings, there's a JSON file there. That's obviously for something. Stack trace, your log, you need those, so keep those. Fly with lure. I'm not even sure whether I've got fly with lure on my machine anymore, but I'll keep it because some of the aircraft I use might have fly with lure. See what I mean? It's kind of figuring out what's going on. Let's have a look at what people are saying here. Depressor. Yeah, he's agreeing with me. IFR doesn't need photo scenery. Airports are more important for me also. It doesn't help you. Surroundings are nice and the airport has a broken ILS. True. The Zebo mod is a very strong argument for X-Plane as well. Don't know if you mentioned that already. I haven't mentioned it already, but as you can see, it's loaded up, and I will be talking about this in a moment. So, let's have a look at what we've got here. Aircraft. Now, aircraft, they go all over the place. I've got Airfoil Labs that Cockpit 3D. I don't know what that is. A generic thing. I guess that's needed. Extra aircraft. These are the ones that. These are the laminar ones. Got a couple of NASA aircraft, C-130, McDonnell Douglas KC Space Shuttle. Okay, and the X-15. I've never bothered with any of them. Do you know? I could delete that folder quite happily. Quite happily. Then we've got the Flight Factory A320 Ultimate, which tends to go into its own folder, which is fine. Laminar Research, and this is where I keep all my aircraft. And I haven't got tons and tons, but I've got quite a few, you know. Obviously, FlyJ Sim, 320 jar design, 727 Series Pro, the Aerolite 103, I can't even remember what that is, but Alabeo Stagger Wing, that's fabulous, but I haven't flown it for ages. I'm not quite sure what the ASK-21 is. I'd have to have a look. It's probably a helicopter. And then, you know, 737-800X, which is a Zebo mod, so forth and so on. But you can see here I went a bit mad with helicopters because I was trying to get an helicopter model that my friend could see when we were online flying together, and he's in P3D. And we did figure that out eventually, because every time I loaded up in the helicopter, he saw me as a 737 or something, which is quite funny. I got the Coronado C90, and you know, so forth and so on. DW Sim F16. I will be doing a review of that, and we might even have a look at it today before I go offline. We'll see. So a number of aircraft, and a lot of them I don't fly. I don't fly the Robin. I think it's the most ugliest aircraft ever. I did a review on it, which, you know, the review was very good, apart from the fact that I don't like the Robin. I think it's an ugly aircraft. The Magnite 787, McDonnell Douglas F4, that's the fighter jet. McDonnell Douglas MD-80, the Follow Me car, which is absolutely awesome. Can drive it around the airport. We might have a drive around the airport shortly in a minute. And so forth and so on, you see. And then you've got, you know, your Tolis aircraft, my Flight Factory aircraft. Where are they? I thought I had them installed. Oh, there's the 767, there's the 777. I haven't got my 75 in, unless it's somewhere else. No, it's not. X Aviation puts its aircraft, of course, in a different place. So we've got the IXEG3, 737 Classic, brilliant aircraft, and the Saab 340. A lot of people say that that is probably one of the most depth-laden aircraft there is for X-Plane. I like the IXEG 737. So, aircraft, yep. So you've got this aircraft folder. This can fill up as well with lots of stuff. But the real thing that causes problems for people is resources, plugins. And the plugins, this is where you can create a lot of problems for yourself. And I'm pretty sure that I've got stuff in it. I've tried to cut mine down to the bare minimum, you know, the least that I want in there. And even so, I still have a couple of things. So, Airport VS. I'm not quite sure what that is. I'll have to remember. I think that is a surface radar thing. AutoGate, obviously. AVI tab. AVS, which is, let me show you if I can. AVS is this. Yeah, so this is ground surface radar, surface movement radar. There's me on the ground there in the 737 at Cardiff. What else? Better pushback, of course, we all know what better pushback is. CEF, that is for Flight Factory aircraft. Fly with Lure, I'm not quite sure. You see, I have it because XP Realistic uses it, but I haven't even got XP Realistic installed at the moment. As you can see, it's not there, so it's, you know, it's not operating. and I can't remember why. Why it's not operational. I'll have to check that out. Um, FM, that's FM car, the follow me car, which um, is in operation for some reason. It normally is. Let's have a look. Shut that down. Plug in. Show map. Right, Orbex. Follow me car doesn't work with Orbex, obviously. So, and you know, how often would you use it? I mean, it is great fun. I love the follow me car. Some people say it's cheating at an airport. Why would you use it? I don't think it's cheating. I think it's a plug-in. Ground handling deluxe. It's ages since I've used that, and really, you know, I mean, it's not essential for your flight experience. What it is a vanity, what I call a vanity accessory. In so much as that it does look pretty. You've got all the the services at your aircraft. It does look pretty, but it's not going to enhance the flying experience that much. But it is a vanity thing, what we call vanity. Little XP Connect, that is for I think that's for Little Nav Map, or it might be for Navigraph. I can't quite remember. Max FX, which is connected with SkyMax Pro. I can adjust the colouring. QPAC terrain data, obviously that is for QPAC FMC, which is used in the TOLIS aircraft. Real weather connector, once again, that is for SkyMax Pro. SAM, which is automated stands and gates. Sazel Silver Lining, that is SkyMax Pro. Skunk Crafts updater, that's an updater for a number of aircraft, and then you've got the TOLIS stuff. X Camera, XJet, X Pilot, and XPLM framework, XP Widgets framework. You know, I mean, this XP UIPC. I don't even know whether XP UIPC still does its job, which was to get some things to talk to explain. It probably does. XP Widgets in XRAS, and which is ground assistance, so it tells you when you're coming up towards what runway you're coming to, and tells you whether you've done a long landing and all sorts of other stuff as well. So I think that this folder alone can cause immense problems, and I've got mine cut down to the bare what I think is enough for me. Other people, they have tons of stuff in there, a lot of which they don't use. You watch some of the YouTubers when they're starting off in explaining the setting up, and the things that they start up with. You know, click on this, click on that, do this, do that. Even more so for P3D and FSX. I've watched I've forgotten his name. Matt Davis. I've watched Matt Davis. Is it Matt Davis? Bellends. I've watched him when he's been setting up setting up his flights, and the number of different applications that he starts up to get. It's a wonder that it works, because he's got so much. And this is one of the problems with X-Plane, that if you get too much in there, things will fall over, and then you have a couple of files down here which you need, like Navigraph, Symlink and stuff like that. So there you have it. Okay. I did have Traffic Global, and I need to reinstall that, because that is actually quite good fun, and I might do that whilst we're talking if I can find it. It's in my downloads. In my downloads folder somewhere. Is it on my J drive? Downloads. My J drive is a big drive, which doesn't respond too easily, because there's a lot in there. Here we go. What am I looking for? Traffic Global, isn't it? I often wonder, is there a search? There must be a search. Okay. Here we are. Traffic Global 9113. 91139596. We'll put this one in. Oh, it's a repair job. So as I say, I think I've got my plugins folder down to the bare minimum, but I still have a major problem, and that problem at the moment is nighttime, and I don't know what happened at all. Well, whilst we're waiting for this, oh, there we go. I don't know what's happened, but if I go to nighttime, as I will now, my night is grey. I tried to figure this out. If I go to an external view, it's grey all the way around. Okay, and let me get back in the cockpit. If I go to shift 2, yeah, it's grey all the way around. Now last night when I was doing this, I was checking this out. It was nighttime in a certain direction and grey in another direction. I have no idea what's gone on here. None whatsoever. It's just going up at the moment. Ah! And now we've gone nighttime. And that's probably because I'm above a cloud layer, I think. Can we keep going up? See? So I have no idea what's going on there, and I've tried a number of things. I've done a repair to X-Plane. I've done a repair to X-Plane. I've removed my preferences folder. I haven't got a clue. I've seen this before. Not me personally, but I've seen it as a question. It's come up before with other people, and they've been able to fix it. I have no idea. Right, when you say, what do I think of the level up 737? I'm not quite sure what you mean, level up 737. Can you be a little bit more specific? I don't know what level up means. I go back here, everything's fine. Don't know what's going on there. I will figure it out, but... So, we're in the Zebo mod. Of course, this is getting... it's getting faintly ridiculous now that this guy does all of this, and he's got this team of people around him, which we can have a look on the credits here. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's just amazing what the people who's managed to get involved. You know, Laminar Research. I mean, the list just goes on and on. He's going on about recommended hardware. So Zebo mod, Twixtor, AXP, JD, Flight Deck 2 Sim, Faye, Twixtor, Departure Design, a load of people involved in this project. Dr. Gluck, Folco, and Laminar Research. Amazing. Anyway, and I haven't got any cabin views set up. And I should, because the cabin is just amazing. Bakazato, I'm still wondering what you're on about. The level up 737, unless you mean this one. I don't know. So looking around my airport, it's looking good, nothing wrong with it. Repair. Oh. Can anybody explain to me why I so stupidly did that? Because I have not got a clue. And all I did was I thought it's... Ah, well, never mind. I did it. It's my error. My bad. We'll get back to it in a moment or three. But why on earth did I click on that? How crazy was that? Sorry about that. Please forgive me. Mic on. Why on earth did I do that? Huh? For what godly reason would I... Oh, good grief. Yeah. Am I back? Am I back? Am I back? No, I'm frozen there. Let's go back here. Yeah, there we go. I'm back. As I was saying, why on earth would I have clicked on that button there? For what reason possessed me to do that? Anyway, we're back. We're back with life. Ah, how crazy. So, I can't even remember what I was talking about then. It was a complete shock to the system. I was talking about the Zebo, wasn't I? Was I? Yeah, I was talking about the Zebo and how they'd managed to get so many people to come in on that. And we're trying to get back to it. Let's have a look. And I was talking about why I had white sky at night, and I haven't figured out what the hell's gone on there. Who would be a YouTuber? Who would be a live streamer? Eh? I bet you don't see Squirrel making these mistakes. If you've got any questions, I suppose this is a good time to say this. If you've got any right, level up 737. It is being created by Threshold. It's essentially a Zebo mod, but I heard it was like an update to the Zebo 737. Right. I haven't heard about that Bakazato. I haven't heard about that at all. I'll have to have a look. If you can find the Threshold link, then I might look at that. Okay. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, I wonder if I can find. Whatever you do, don't put Threshold into Google. Or even Facebook, because it comes up with the Legends of the Shires. Right. I'll find Threshold later. I certainly can't find it now. We'll just wait for this 737 to reload itself. Sorry for the crunching. I love mint imperials. I'm addicted to them. So as I say, any questions, please just say something. And well, if I don't know the answer, then we'll try and find someone who does. Or even we'll find out the answer ourselves together. I wish I had an answer to why my sky is white at night. As I say, I will figure it out, but I haven't as yet. I'll tell you when I think it may have started. It was when I did the update to the PBR. I did the PBR update to the Zebo mod. Saved all my files, did the update, and then I noticed that my night was turned to day. It might be a PBR rendering thing, but there are no PBR settings within X-Plane 11. It could be my NVIDIA settings that are causing the problem. Let's have a look. Or look at the NVIDIA control panel. But if I remember rightly, there's nothing about PBR in here either. Anisotropic filtering, power management mode, shader cache. See, there's nothing there that says PBR, so I don't know what it is. I'm really not quite sure what could be causing that. Okay, my wife is home, so that's that. Right, I'll be back in a few minutes. Yeah, of course it's the same person in camera. What an idiot. I'll be back.